do well. And speaking of which, we already have some containers that have been opened, and we now would like to just cross over to the coast, and the pictures you see now are live images coming from Mombasa of a container that has just been opened, and head teachers are now getting the examinations to take them to the various examination centers where exams will begin not too long from now.
Right.
Central guard. Central guard. Central guard. Central guard. No, they are yet to know the past. Now, second manager, our vehicles are people. Let me just get down to get the exam. The security. So, this one, Titanian Park. Titanian Park, we have South the Sea, Royal Junior, Presbyterian yenyewe, Presbyterian Pwani, Mombasa Primary, Baraki Primary, Magoha Primary. Kaloleni girls. Boys. Kaloleni boys. Number one. Two. We have integrated school. Primary.
Watu hawajui majina yao hapo.
Primary. Senga Primary. Aljenan. Ni Watoni, Sheikh Nurei,
Tomboya boys.
Those ones will go to Loreto Convent 1. Class 3, kuna Abu Huraira Bad.
Hospital, something is not happening. Mambo yamekwama hapo.
Make sure that the policemen are correct. Makupa Primary, Maria.
Who is the next department?
Kaloleni boys. Ikra.
Tomboya.
Kaloleni ni kwa huyu.
Tomboya. Sikujeni hapo basi mnatoka pamoja. Kikohoni. Mnatoka pamoja. Kikohoni kuja bwana.
Beheni goes.
All right, so what you see there are live images coming from Mombasa. We do have the CS for Education, Professor George Magoha, who's just opened a container containing examinations for Kenya Certificate of Primary Education students in Mombasa. And we have head teachers there picking the education centers, exam papers to distribute to their schools normally a very tense moment for students, but hopefully they have prepared. One of the things that will be a litmus test for the Professor George Magoha is how the examinations are going to be run. Remember, we had the CS Matiangi who clamped down on exam cheating and irregularities in examination centers. So this is going to be one of those where we'll see how they're going to perform. One of the controversies that had been raised in these kind of examination centers was the use of the police and very huge security presence. But that seems still to be the case. And of course, that may raise eyebrows. But again, it is in an endeavor to ensure that they deliver credible examinations. So today is the beginning of Kenya Certificate of Primary Educations, where we have primary students who are going to be sitting for their exams for the next few days. And as a result, that becomes their bridge to secondary school. Of course, there has been questions also raised by them being tested by one examination to determine their 8 years of education and graduate them now to secondary school. But with the CBC coming through, this may be a thing of the past with time, where they're going to be tested over time with a competency-based curriculum, where their exams are taken on a regular basis, as opposed to sitting through one major examination. So there you go. We do have Kenya Certificate Primary Education exams starting today. What we see now is Mombasa. Hopefully, we're going to be looking at other areas where we will have that opening. So I don't know if we're able to get sound bites of what is happening there. There seems to be an address of sorts that is being given to the head teachers. Maybe we'll just listen in and hear what is being said.
Chuda Primary, TCA Makupa, Noah's Ark, Al-Hay, na Makande.
Ukifanya usome and then people look like they are lost and you ask what happens.
Bahari. Here.
Very clear. Very clear.
When the main exams come.
Chuda Primary. Chuda Primary. Arti, Gala. Sparky Primary. Makupa Primary. St. Augustine. Makande. Majengo. Memon. Ganjoni. Presbyterian Academy. Aria. Abu Kureira. Bahari Preparatory. Citadel. Badala. Gateways. Kuba Muslim.
Scenes that are giving us just pure nostalgia for some of us who can still remember our time when we were sitting for our KCPE. But obviously this is much more different because of the severity or the seriousness that is being given. You can see the CSs. The CS is here, George Magoha, who is in charge of that docket, is standing there watching keenly as the exercise goes by, and the teachers also taking it pretty seriously. But obviously this is something that is happening across the country, and we are having other CSs pitching tent in other centers whereby the head teachers are picking up the papers. And we're told that in Gilgil we have Interior CS Fred Matiangi, who's right there doing the same thing that you can see the CS George Magoha doing, while CS Masharia for Transport is in Muranga County doing the same, overseeing the exercise, ensuring that the papers are delivered on time and that there's no funny business of cheating or any loopholes that would enable that. So quite serious. We're looking forward to seeing how the whole process transpires across the country. And obviously the issue with the floods is one thing that has raised a lot of concern, but they've said that they're going to deploy even choppers to enable the students across the country to get the papers on time.
Yes, they've actually said that there's enough choppers to cover the whole terrain, regardless of whether the road network is going to be affected by the floods. But we do know that this becomes a huge test for the CS in regards to how well they're going to handle it, particularly stamping out exam cheating. I don't know, Trix, in your day, do you remember it being such a big deal, particularly when it comes to getting good results, even if you'd have to skim your way through?
Oh no, there was no skimming at Father Wolstra Academy in Bungoma.
Okay, there you go.
There was no skimming.
Yeah,
there was no room for that. But I guess it's a matter of preparedness. Yeah. So if the teachers do their job and ensure that, and the parents put trust in the teachers, then we do not see this being quite a big deal. But obviously it is something that was affecting so many schools and the general results, and therefore there was need for such stringent measures to be put in place to ensure the results are the real results.
Absolutely. And one of the things that they have blamed on the rampant impunity that we see in the exam centers is ranking, because with private schools coming up, and this again is a failure by the government not putting public schools where they should be.
Right.
With private schools coming up, then what happens is that majority of parents lean towards those that do well. So the pressure is so high for them to do well, for them to admit more. So it becomes more like a business transaction as opposed to education.
Yeah, quality education.
Exactly. So they have a lot of pressure to ensure that their schools do well and pass, to attract more students. So that has been one of the narratives blamed on school and exam cheating. But there you go. Exams do start today. And of course, as a result, we also have a huge number of primary school students who are at home. Because when the exams are going on, those in standard 7 and below are normally not in school, to ensure that there's maximum concentration for those in standard 8.
That is very true.
Right, so we'll be looking at other areas where exams possibly have begun and giving you an update on how that is happening. But it's also a story, of course, that's captured in the Standard today. And over